Alright, so I just saw Viggo Mortensen's new movie, The Dead Don't Hurt. I had no idea this movie was actually a thing. I was just looking at what was out in the theater this week, saw this, watched the trailer. Turns out this came out in like March in the US, so better late than never. Saw the trailer, thought it looked interesting, and then I found out that Viggo actually wrote this, directed this, and wrote the score for this. So he basically did it all. So one of the main reasons I went to this, obviously, was to see if Viggo can direct, if he can write music, all of that. I'm pretty sure he's actually directed another film, but the name of the film's escaping me right now. But this film here was surprisingly very, very good. So the entire plot of the movie is basically given away in the trailer, but they do this movie in a way where they don't live in the present for the whole movie. The entire film is skipping from the present to the past to the future. And normally when films do that, it's extremely confusing and convoluted, and it's just a mess. But the way they've done it here, it actually made the story easier to follow. So basically, Viggo's character meets this woman, they fall in love. He then decides that he wants to go and fight for his country. He has to do it for himself, against her wishes. When he's away, she gets assaulted and has a kid. And when he gets back from the war, the movie's all about him having to accept that the child's not his and that he failed as a boyfriend, a husband, that he wasn't there to protect his wife. And this story is told in a very unique way. They give away the ending of the movie in the opening scene, which surprised me a lot, but makes sense once you watch the movie. All the performances in this film were absolutely fantastic. Cannot pick out a bad one. All the times in the movie of sadness and anguish and devastation, that's when the performances turn up to 10. Viggo's character and his love interest in the movie, her name's escaping me right now, their relationship felt so organic. You put yourself in that time period, in that era, and she's got sort of a dumbass of a boyfriend or husband, whatever he is, and it seems forced in that time, like she's forced against her will to be in that relationship. And then when they meet each other, it's so organic. And again, it's down to the performances. It worked so well. And the way this film was shot, my biggest surprise, Viggo is amazing behind the camera. This shit was beautiful. There's so many shots of just like canyon and valley, and that's it. And it suits the tone of the movie perfectly. It suits the ending of the scene or the opening of the scene. The movie was written amazingly as well. I really couldn't pick out a single bad bit of dialogue and a single bad bit of storytelling. Actually, maybe I can pick out one bad bit of dialogue. Viggo basically says, "Don't you know the dead don't hurt?" And it's like, yeah, you put your title in there, but it's out of nowhere. That was a bit iffy, but other than that, honestly, he's done an amazing job. And the score for this, he's written this as well. The music isn't overpowering, it's not underpowering. I think they only use like a couple bells, some chimes, violin, piano, and that's literally it. Now, I will say, you start to feel the runtime probably about an hour and a half into this movie, I won't lie. I wasn't feeling it before that, but it started to get a little slow. And don't expect a full-on Western. This is more of a love romance sort of movie more than a Western. You've got your Western aspects, your quick gun shooting and gunslinging a couple of times, but that's it. It's more of a love story. So I went into this expecting not much really. I just wanted to see how Viggo would pull this off, and he really did. This movie was actually fantastic. It's probably going to be in my top 10 for the year. I really didn't expect for it to be this good, but it was. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. So Aragorn can really make movies. I'm looking forward to see what else he does next. So if you've seen the film, let me know what you think, and thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.